The essence of life. Several people say that life is too short. I always think that, is it really too short? The essence of life doesn't depend on short or long. Some people can still be living and kicking in the world, but some can't. Some people can't still be alive and kicking without having other people. But there were so many people who met their untimely death when they were working for the sake of the world and people. Mainly, struggling for life is the essence of life when we are still alive. Actually, fulfilling our potential and personal benefit isn't egocentric or selfish. Every youth must shape their future to the perfection and must have hunger for wisdom. Every youth must try so as to be splendid. No try means feeling so bored with our whole life. How lazy we are. We wouldn't mind being lazy to get lazy. An elder friend of mine has ever asked me, what would you do if you were in perfect condition, like a billionaire? Suppose that in the meanwhile, whatever you want, you can get it. What will you do? He might say to me. I will give him a logical answer like this. There is no person who doesn't want to be perfect in his or her life. There is no perfect person in the world as well. Even if some people would be perfect in their life, they would still be greedy. But then, his thought and idea is very simple and clear. He said that life would be inconsequential when we have enough money in perfect condition. Because life struggle aims at freeing oneself from emotional, mental and social attachment. If we think it deeply, it's absolutely right. We feel lazy if we have no work to do. We feel lazy when we are using Facebook, watching television and relaxed. We feel lazy and dampen our spirit and enthusiasm when we are already used to what we have done. That's human nature. We will be happy when we struggle free from difficulty and overcome it. Life isn't both short and long. It's after individualistic view. The people who triumph all the time don't know that time is going on. The people who don't do anything and misuse their time think that life is too long. The essence of life is struggling. The word struggling is so sweet as we speak, but it's badly bad in reality. Only when we dare to face through life can we get success and the essence of life. A saying goes, no person is there in perfect condition, and nobody should think to himself, I am in perfect condition. Let's analyze the word perfect, shall we? The first one deals with wisdom. We must not be shy to learn it, and be as humble as a beggar. We must have a hunger to learn in order to succeed. We fail if we think we are a perfect person in education. Education and wisdom never end. There is no limit to be a professional or especially one. We should learn with lifelong learning process. Once we think of ourselves that we are in perfect condition, we would do nothing and would stop learning. If you stop learning, you get nothing, and you won't be a professional. Only when your learning keeps going will you be a specially one. The second point to deal with was, according to my experience, I have ever seen so many youths who came from rich families and some who don't. Some youths never have a try at anything, for their parents are rich and in perfect condition. They have no tough time, so they have never ever faced and solved the difficulty. Plus, they spend their time by living an easygoing life and they will get nothing later. Do nothing, get nothing. That's the course of nature. Some youths try out for their life, though their parents are rich. Then, they are getting successful. They were lucky since they were born. For some youths, their parents aren't rich and can't support, but they try so as to be self-reliant. Meanwhile, they would face more difficulties. The more they face it, the more they have a terrible tough time. But they can overcome everything because of their struggle. Some youths do not dare to face difficulty and don't want to get a better life because their parents can't support to them in imperfect condition. They tend to put the blame on their parents and then life itself. Life and parents cannot be chosen. Although no choice is there to choose, we are able to change that circumstance. It's up to ourselves. So we must try to get to the top through the difficulty. No matter how we are facing tough time and whoever we are, we need to be a sharp person and have a sharp intelligence to get to the top. And we always have to try to be a sharp person as well. Youths have to think of their dreams suitably, as I mentioned above. Fulfilling our potential and personal benefit should not be egocentric or selfish. Nowadays, most youth want to be successful and popular, but they do not dare to face the ups and downs of life. Once we were born, we will face it. That's nature. If we avoid that nature, we would certainly get more difficulty. The more we avoid it, the harder we face. But the more we face the hardest thing, the happier we feel when we have overcome it. The happier we feel, the more we get, such as the way of thought and problem solving. Nor should we avoid the ups and downs of life. So, the poet Sayalatham had ever written in his poem, bearing the title Narcissism Copy. For being afraid of death, before, there were many avoidance. Now for being willing to avoid, death haven't been frightened by thinking. So, if we avoid it, we face it. If we face it, we escape from it. Then, face the difficulty and everything, with every saturation you have. Only when we face it, do we get the essence of life. It's very nice and satisfying. There is another thing more satisfying than it. This is guiding and being a pioneer for the promising new generation after success. New generation have been guided a lot and should have been given the chance to lead by themselves. If so, the new generation will improve. If not, we have not performed our duties as the older generation. So, we must struggle for our own sake and for the sake of our new generation. If so, other people's lives can be improved. Our community, our country, our nation can be achieved. It is a must do. The important thing is that once we become successful, our people, environment and motherland will automatically be improved. That's why we need to be the first to take action. In a nutshell, life is full of complicated attackment, difficulty and tough time. We have to face the ups and downs of life. We must struggle to get ourselves free. Of course, the essence of life is to struggle. The greater essence is to have and improve for the lives of others. Plus, the greater essence is trying to attain enlightenment of life. Rainbow.